What's up, guys? So I was reading a review of the Galaxy A54 and a lot of people ask me, Matt, why do you always recommend older flagship phones? And I typically like to recommend them over mid-range phones. So I'm not saying all mid-range phones are bad. I have a few mid-range phones that I'm actually going to make a few videos about coming up that I actually like. But most mid-range phones are just not as good as an older flagship. Like on this channel, we're looking for, trying to get the most value out of our money, right? So, Galaxy A54 review, I was go ahead and read this, and one of the main things, so it lists the pros, but the main thing when you're buying a phone, because most people, especially in America, they don't upgrade phones every year, right? The last thing you want your phone to be is laggy, right? Performance occasionally feels stutter. That's one of the big cons about the A54, and it's because Samsung moved to the really crappy Exynos chipset. So mid-range chips in general, even if they were like the A53 had the Snapdragon chip, right? I didn't think the Snapdragon chip, as far as chip, was good, was more smooth than a Galaxy Note 10 Plus with a Snapdragon 855. So the A53, I can't remember the exact chip number, but that had a Snapdragon chip, but it just didn't feel as smooth as a Note 10 Plus with an A55. Not only that, but it didn't run games anywhere near as good as well too. So that's one thing that I like to recommend to people, is that older flagship phones will still play games better than, mid-range phones. A new mid-range phone. In Samsung moving to the Exynos, I can just tell without even buying the phone. I already know it's going to be stuttering and lagging all over the place, right? Also, look at the price. A phone that I highly recommend, the S21 Ultra, for anybody looking for an older flagship phone. You can see around $400, depending, it varies on where you want to get it from, eBay or wherever. A lot of people like to go to Swap or whatever, but I typically like to go with Amazon, eBay. So look at the A54, typically around this price point, and I might buy the phone to do a battery drain test, because a lot of people are saying, well, the battery's a lot better. I don't think so, because I'm still getting easily around 6 hours of screen on time on the S21 Ultra, and this is a refurbished version. Alright, so another argument people like to say is, well, Matt, mid-range phones are going to have longer software updates. Older phones don't get software updates. Well, that's not necessarily the case, especially with Samsung, right? So Samsung, they pledged a 4-year major OS update and 5 years of security patches. So that means a phone like the Galaxy S21 Ultra here, it launched with Android 11, I believe. So that means it will get up to Android 15. And I want to go ahead and double check, but I'm pretty positive. So it launches with Android 11. It'll get Android 15, and then it will get 5 years of security patches. So you have a extremely long lifespan on this phone. And like I said, if you don't want to get, you can get an S22 S22 standard version, super cheap. S21s are going for crazy cheap. S21 FEs, like, it makes no sense to get a Galaxy A54. So the last point that I want to make is that with an S21 Ultra, it's still a flagship phone, even when you compare it to the S23 Ultra, the newest Galaxy phone out right now. There's a lot pretty much similar with these two phones. They're both fast, they both have beautiful displays, some of the best spec'd out displays, super bright. You won't find in a mid-range phone. Samsung desktop support and all of the flagship features, reverse wireless charging is here. The S21 Ultra even has pen support. And not only that, but the biggest thing with people when they're buying phones is that they want to know, well, is the phone fast? Can I play video games on it? Yes, this is a superior gaming device compared to an A54. Way better. Not only that, but the cameras. You still get a high quality camera. Check out the S21 Ultra versus the S23 Ultra. Look at the side-by-side image quality. The S21 Ultra is still pretty good compared to the S23 Ultra, and you still have all the fancy features like the 100x zoom, the crazy 8K video recording. It's just a fantastic phone overall. So it really makes no sense to spend the money, and get an inferior device in almost every regard. But I want to know, what do you guys think? You guys think I'm totally wrong on this? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.